Welcome to this short lesson on writing in APA style. It would be helpful, but not necessary, for you to have your copy of the publication manual of the American Psychological Association, 5th edition, as you proceed throughout this lesson. I hope this will help you learn some new skills and sharpen your old ones. This presentation is dedicated to all of us who are committed to better writing. Here are some of the most basic books you need for your library. This presentation is based on the 5th edition of the APA manual. You must use a thesaurus and not just the one on your computer. It's very helpful to have a book nearby when you're writing your paper late at night. Idioms I define as words or phrases that, if translated to another language, wouldn't make sense. We often don't even realize when we are speaking or writing idiomatically. There are many writing books available. I like Diana Hacker's book, A Writer's Reference. These are some resources published through the American Psychological Association and are available through their website at www.apa.org. Here's a little poem for you. In this section, we will be discussing a few hints regarding APA style. This is what should be included on your title page. It should be centered on the title page and include the professor's full name and title. Generally, you will be told if you need to include an abstract. In APA style, a reference list refers to sources that you cite or quote within your paper. The bibliography is used more for background reading and supplemental resources. Headings can be very confusing. For example, two levels of headings actually use level 1 and level 3 headings, not level 1 and 2, as you would expect. See page 114 in the APA manual. Here are some typing conventions. Strictly speaking, APA dictates 1-inch margins. However, for grading purposes, we will use 1.5-inch margins. Here's a chance to check what you've just learned. How did you do? Remember, according to the APA manual, margins may need to be 1 inch, but for our purposes in student papers, they are to be 1.5 inches. Citations are used when you are using another's ideas, but not directly quoting them. The rule is that if you cite something in your paper, it must be on your reference list and vice versa. Incidentally, citing is not a substitute for getting the author's permission for duplication or other purposes. There are several ways to write your citations. Remember that a good paper has a few quotations, but not too many. It is important to show your own work. If the source is cited or quoted in your paper, remember it must be on your reference list. Sources are listed by primary author. Don't change the order of the authors to alphabetize them. Here are some samples of referencing books. Notice the hanging indent where the second and following lines are indented. In citing journal articles, the title of the journal, not the article, is italicized. Note that the title of the article is in sentence case. Let's check your knowledge of citations and referencing. Remember, to be on the reference list, the work must be cited or quoted in the paper. One of the best resources is the sample paper. Here you can see how your paper should look and where to reference specific sections in the manual. Part of good writing is paying attention to details such as grammar and punctuation. A paper with poor text mechanics is difficult to read even when the content is good. Poor punctuation and grammar detracts from other parts of the paper which may be excellent. Here are some important tips to better your writing. First, proofread at least 3 times. Once while you're writing, once when you're finished, and again after you've gone away from the paper for a while. If you are printing the paper, review again after you've printed as mistakes show up in the hard copy. You can also have someone else proofread for you. Use headings as it makes information easier to locate. If you are unsure about whether a portion sounds right, read it aloud. You may hear whether it sounds right to you. Avoid using large words when smaller ones will do. This makes your paper more understandable. I can't stress proofreading enough. Be sure you have included all of the information that you were asked to include. Use the grading sheet you were given or your outline as a checkoff sheet. Don't forget your reference materials. Thanks for your participation in this course. Best of luck on your future writing, and remember to use APA.